I think it's been a very informative visit. We've had the opportunity during this visit to meet with, the foreign minister, other ministers, foreign secretary, the prime minister and president of Azad Kashmir, and actually, in some ways, more importantly, we've had the opportunity to meet with NGOs on the ground, with women's group on the ground, with refugees, visit the line of control, visit refugee camps, where we've heard first-hand accounts of some of the continued human rights violations in Indian-occupied Kashmir. We've heard some truly horrific and chilling accounts of the persecution, oppression and violence that continues against the Kashmiris. Look, I think there's two separate issues here. The first issue is around self-determination, and I think that is a birthright of the Kashmiris. But it's also in the interest of the international community to find a peaceful resolution. Look, both India and Pakistan are nuclear powers, and the tension in this region must be resolved, and that can only be done through peaceful negotiation. But the international community, I believe, has a role to facilitate those peaceful negotiations, but ultimately the Kashmiris must have a place on the table as well, and self-determination is their ultimate right. Secondly, the human rights abuses. These are well documented human rights abuses, and we've heard even during this visit some chilling accounts of persecution, oppression, violence, and clearly this is not something the world can turn a blind eye to, and I think the international community has a real role to play and must demand an end to this violence. Well, this is why we raise the issue regularly in the British Parliament. I know there's colleagues here from the European Parliament who raise that. It's about continue to bring awareness around this very important issue, and bringing those who make some of these decisions to understand that this is an issue that cannot be ignored. We can't bury our heads in the sand on this issue. The international community must take a united stance, and one which is a peaceful one that involves table talk, one that involves bringing both sides, all sides together, and one that finds a lasting solution that is in the interest of the whole region. And like I said before, peace and stability is in the interest of everybody. The economic benefits are huge for all to enjoy, and the geographically placed location of the subcontinent means that the broader region will also benefit. So I think that this is an issue that can't be ignored, and we will continue to raise the matter. Well, we visited the LOC earlier today, and it was disturbing to see that there are a number of villages that are actually on the line of control, something I wasn't aware of previously. And we heard first-hand accounts from some of those individuals from the villages who were complaining about regular mortar fire. There was some incidents just recently on the 17th of August. 2 or 3 people gave testimonies around how I think one young boy was there who lost his father through the indiscriminate use of fire there. Somebody else whose daughter was injured quite severely. The fact that they have to have bunkers made there for protection. These are innocent civilians, and they should not be caught up or treated in this manner. And therefore, again, we need to find a lasting resolution, which is only through peaceful measures, and the international community, I think, has a role to play. Well, I think, we have, the policy is the government's policy. I'm not the government, I speak as myself, but I think we should encourage and facilitate talks between India and Pakistan, certainly as a starting point to find a peaceful resolution. But I also think that we should condemn very openly injustice wherever that happens, including in Kashmir. Well, clearly, like I said before, the human rights violations are well documented. We have heard again the reports around persecution, oppression, violence there, which is all unacceptable, and the international community must condemn that. But also, like I said before, there needs to be table talk. We need to find a peaceful resolution. Well, I think I will keep arguing the case for that solution.